Derek Bradford towers over the lunch table, his varsity jacket catching cafeteria lights as 200 students watch. "Useless," he announces, loud enough for the back tables to hear, pointing at Sophia Kane's untouched tryout sheet. "Some people just don't have athlete DNA." His crew laughs on cue. Phones lift. But Sophia's fall backward isn't clumsy. It's a perfect gymnast's controlled landing. In 12 minutes, she'll be wearing his captain's armband. The metal folding chair scrapes against linoleum as Sophia adjusts her position, shoulders dropping slightly while her breathing remains steady. "I hear you," she says quietly, the words barely audible over the cafeteria buzz. But Derek's not finished with his performance. Sophia Kane had been at Westfield High exactly 4 days, long enough for Derek Bradford to notice her sitting alone, long enough for him to assume she was another easy target. What he didn't notice was the way she analyzed every movement in the gym during passing periods, scanning exit angles, timing the assistant coach's rotations, counting exactly how many students gathered around drama hotspots. Her water bottle sits beside her lunch tray, its surface bearing faded residue marks from removed stickers, competition numbers that once meant everything. As Derek continues his verbal assault, Sophia shifts her backpack to her non-dominant shoulder, keeping her right arm free. It's automatic, unconscious, the habit of someone trained for situations requiring quick responses. The question nobody's asking yet: why does the quiet new girl know the exact distance between the cafeteria camera's blind spots? "Scholarship kids shouldn't even try out," Derek continues, crumpling the cheerleading sign-up sheet into a tight ball. "Leave athletics to people who understand winning." The cafeteria buzzes with nervous energy. Derek Bradford's father funds the new gymnasium, the weight room, half the equipment budget. His word carries weight here at Westfield High, nestled in Boulder County's athletic powerhouse district, where college scouts make or break futures during senior year. Sophia's voice stays level when she responds, "Colorado High School Athletics Code 17-4. Public humiliation of students violates conduct standards." The precision of her citation catches several nearby students off guard. Who memorizes athletic regulations? Derek's face flushes red. He's the basketball team captain, the golden boy whose recruitment letters stack up in the guidance office. Nobody challenges Derek Bradford, especially not some charity case who's been here less than a week. "What did you just say to me?" The timestamp on Sophia's phone reads 12:37 p.m. as she documents the witness count with unusual precision. 23 students within direct earshot, 47 more with clear sightlines. Her thumb moves across the screen, recording not just Derek's words but the reactions of faculty members who choose to look away. By 6th period, the memes are already circulating. Someone's photoshopped Sophia's school photo onto a bench warmer for life template, complete with crying emojis and the caption, "When you think you can play with the big kids." The basketball team's group chat, screenshot and spread by Derek's girlfriend Madison, features a betting pool on how long before charity case quits trying. The printouts appear on Sophia's locker during the break between 5th and 6th period. Students crowd around, some laughing, others recording videos for their social media stories, but when they expect tears or angry outbursts, they get something else entirely. Sophia breathes in measured 4-count intervals as she approaches her locker. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. It's the rhythm of someone trained to maintain composure under pressure. The breathing pattern elite athletes use before major competitions. Her hands don't shake as she methodically removes each printed meme, folding them carefully and placing them in a clear plastic folder. Screen recording everything with methodical calm, she captures not just the harassment materials, but the faces of students who participated in posting them. Every piece of evidence documented, time-stamped, cross-referenced with the school's security camera angles she'd noted during her first-day walkthrough. Looking at this scene, I can't help but think about the times I witnessed bullying at school. If this video makes you feel sympathetic toward Sophia, please hit like to support those facing similar situations. Subscribe to the channel to follow more stories of courage like this one. And don't forget to hit the thanks button below if you want to support our team in making more meaningful videos. Now let's see how Sophia will respond when Derek pushes beyond the limit. The mystery deepens during 7th period chemistry. While other students struggle with basic molecular structures, Sophia's notebook reveals something unexpected. Detailed biomechanical diagrams fill the margins, joint angles, force vectors, motion analyses that wouldn't look out of place in a sports science textbook. How does a helpless new student know the exact biomechanical flaw in Derek's shooting form that his coaches missed? Her phone buzzes with a text message. Package confirmed, Thursday, 3 p.m. gymnasium. No contact name saved, no identifying information. Just coordinates and timing that suggest this isn't Sophia's first rodent dealing with athletic politics. Coach Williams observes the cafeteria incident from the doorway. His expression unreadable. 23 years of coaching has taught him to recognize when something doesn't add up. Later, reviewing game footage in his office, he pauses on Derek's missed free throws from Tuesday's scrimmage. The mechanics look wrong, rushed, compensating for something he can't quite identify. The kid's shooting percentage has dropped from 85% as a freshman to 62% now. That's not normal regression. That's compensation for poor fundamentals nobody's bothered to correct because Derek's daddy writes checks. Sophia's phone isn't a typical student device. She pulls out a ruggedized model with enhanced video stabilization and timestamp authentication capabilities, the kind athletic programs use for performance analysis and legal documentation. Its encrypted cloud storage can preserve evidence with forensic-grade integrity, automatically backing up footage to secure servers that collegiate athletics compliance officers trust for official reviews. The gymnasium doors echo shut as students file in for 3rd period physical education. Derek's already holding court near the equipment cage, gesturing animatedly to his usual crowd of followers. Today's lesson plan calls for basketball scrimmages, Derek's territory, where his word is law and complaints disappear into the coach's suggestion box. What Derek doesn't know is that 3rd period PE is about to become very interesting indeed. PE class begins like every other day. Derek's picked as team captain, naturally, and he makes a show of selecting his roster. Athletes first, then popular kids, then anyone who might be useful. Sophia stands with the handful of remaining students, watching the political theater unfold. "Try not to hurt yourself," Derek smirks, tossing her a basketball with unnecessary force. The orange sphere spirals toward her at an angle designed to make her fumble. To reinforce his narrative about athletic incompetence, what happens next makes Coach Williams drop his clipboard. Sophia catches the ball one-handed without even looking at it, her peripheral vision and reaction time suggesting years of training most students could never imagine. But it's what she says next that changes everything. "Your left shoulder drops 2 inches during release," she announces, her voice carrying the clinical precision of a biomechanical analysis. "Hip rotation compensating 30 degrees clockwise. That's why you're shooting 62% instead of your freshman 85%. The gymnasium falls silent. Derek's mouth opens and closes like a fish gasping for air. Nobody talks to Derek Bradford like that. Nobody dissects his athletic performance in front of the entire class. And definitely nobody does it with the technical accuracy of a Division I coaching staff. "What did you just say?" Derek's voice cracks slightly, his usual confidence wavering. Sophia's response is matter-of-fact, delivered with the calm authority of someone who's spent countless hours studying human movement. Compensation patterns indicate unaddressed muscle imbalances, probably started when you hit your growth spurt, sophomore year. Your coaches never corrected the fundamentals. Coach Williams steps closer, his interest piqued despite himself. In 2 sentences, this quiet new student has identified biomechanical issues his coaching staff missed for 3 years. Derek's retaliation is swift and petty. During the scrimmage, he accidentally knocks Sophia's water bottle across the court with enough force to send it skittering under the bleachers. But instead of getting upset or making a scene, Sophia does something unexpected. She methodically photographs the splatter pattern where the water hit the floor, documents the witness statements from 3 neutral students who saw the accident, and timestamps everything with the precision of someone building a legal case. Her movements are calm, professional, the behavior of someone who understands that evidence matters more than emotion. "One-party consent state," Sophia mentions casually to her lab partner during the transition to chemistry class, though Colorado's recording laws suddenly feel very relevant to anyone who might have been listening. Her notebook contains detailed logs of every incident since her first day, cross-referenced with school security camera angles, PE class attendance records, and athletic department schedules. The mystery that started with the lunchtime confrontation is beginning to resolve itself, but each answer reveals 2 new questions. The package, referenced in her mysterious text message, was her gymnastics credentials transfer from her previous school. Official USA gymnastics documentation, coaching certifications, competition records that paint a very different picture than the shy new girl Derek thinks he's been tormenting. But why would someone with that background try to hide it? Why transfer schools during senior year and pretend to be athletically incompetent? Derek escalates to direct threats by the end of the school day. Anonymous Instagram DMs start appearing in Sophia's message requests, promising to make sure no coach at any school ever looks at you twice. The language is specific, targeted. Someone with connections to local athletic programs making very real threats about her future opportunities. His family's influence isn't subtle. Derek's uncle sits on the state athletics board. His cousin runs the regional AAU basketball league. When Derek Bradford wants to destroy someone's athletic future, he has the connections to make it happen. But Derek's made a crucial miscalculation. He's assuming Sophia Kane is just another vulnerable target, another scholarship kid without resources or connections. The mysterious contact in her phone suggests otherwise. Colorado Springs area code. Same region as the Olympic Training Center. Coach Williams receives an unusual call during his planning period. Someone requesting Sophia Kane's complete athletic history, asking about coaching evaluations and competitive background. The caller won't identify themselves beyond mentioning urgent coaching evaluation, but their question suggests they already know more than they're letting on. Something bigger is happening here, something that extends beyond typical high school drama. Sophia cross-references Derek's DM timestamps with the basketball team's mandatory study hall schedule, revealing that he sent the threats while supposedly under faculty supervision. Every message, every incident, every violation carefully documented and cataloged with the systematic approach of someone who understands exactly how institutional investigations work. The gymnasium's PA system crackles to life during fourth period. Sophia Kane to the coach's office, immediately. Derek's latest move involves planting performance-enhancing supplement packets in Sophia's locker. then tipping off the athletic director about possible drug violations. It's a calculated escalation designed to trigger automatic suspension from any athletic programs she might try to join. But Derek's made a critical error. The supplements are legal protein powder available at any nutrition store. More importantly, Sophia's already documented his purchase of identical containers from the same store, complete with security footage timestamps she'd requested through proper Freedom of Information Act channels. Her preparation suggests someone who's dealt with institutional investigations before, someone who understands that accusations require evidence, and evidence requires documentation. When confronted about the planted supplements, Sophia calmly produces receipts showing Derek's purchase timeline, cross-referenced with security footage that places him near her locker during the narrow window when the packets appeared. She's not just defending herself, she's building a prosecutable case. A folder marked Confidential USA Gymnastics becomes briefly visible in her backpack as she reaches for the evidence file. The edge of an official credential badge, partially obscured by her jacket zipper, suggests connections that go far beyond high school athletics. Coach Williams stares at the documentation spread across his desk, trying to reconcile the quiet new student with the level of preparation and sophistication she's displaying. This isn't typical teenage drama. This is someone with professional-level understanding of athletic compliance, investigation procedures, and legal documentation. The question that's been building since that first confrontation in the cafeteria is about to be answered. But first, Derek Bradford is about to learn that some games are bigger than high school basketball. The emergency athletic department meeting requires specialized documentation equipment. Sophia's tablet isn't just any device. It's a competition-grade analysis system with slow-motion replay, angle measurement tools, and direct connectivity to collegiate recruiting databases. This professional sports technology helps coaches and athletes optimize performance while maintaining compliance with strict academic eligibility requirements that can make or break scholarship opportunities. Word is already spreading to other schools' athletic departments about irregularities in Westfield's basketball program. Phone calls between district coordinators, hushed conversations in coaching circles, the kind of whispered concerns that precede formal investigations. Do you think Derek guessed Sophia's real background? Comment your predictions before we reveal everything. Coach Williams sits across from Sophia in his office, her official files spread between them like evidence in a courtroom. The investigation has revealed everything, and the truth is more complex than anyone imagined. A small scar becomes visible on her wrist when she reaches for her water bottle. The kind gymnastics competitors know well, earned through countless hours on uneven bars and balance beams. It's faded now, but unmistakable to anyone who knows what to look for. Former Level 10 elite gymnast, Coach Williams reads from the official documentation, 3-time national qualifier, coaching certification from USA Gymnastics. You transferred here not because of family finances, but because of burnout from competition pressure. Sophia nods, her composure finally showing hairline cracks. My mother wanted me to have a normal senior year. No competitions, no pressure, no spotlight. Just regular high school experience before college. But harassment from Derek Bradford has forced you back into competitive mode, Coach Williams observes, studying her meticulously documented evidence files. I tried to stay invisible, Sophia admits. But when someone threatens your future, you fight back with everything you have. The revelation recontextualizes everything. Her biomechanical knowledge, her systematic documentation, her professional-grade equipment, all remnants of an elite athletic career most high schoolers could never imagine. Sophia Kane didn't come to Westfield as a victim. She came as someone trying to escape the very competitive intensity Derek's harassment forced her to resurrect. Derek, desperate as his captaincy slips away, makes the worst decision of his high school career. He corners Sophia after school in the parking lot, grabbing her arm to force a confrontation. "You think you're so special?" he snarls, his grip tightening. "My family built this school. You're nothing." Big mistake. Sophia doesn't fight. She demonstrates a textbook gymnastics-trained balance recovery that makes Derek's aggressive lunge look amateur. Her movement is controlled, precise, designed to neutralize the threat while maintaining clear legal boundaries. Derek stumbles backward, his coordination no match for someone trained in spatial awareness and body control. The security cameras capture everything from 3 different angles. Derek's clear aggression, Sophia's legal self-defense response, and most importantly, his flagrant violation of the athletic conduct code that governs all student-athletes. Derek's family tries to leverage their donation status to bury the incident, but they've fundamentally miscalculated the situation. Athletic departments answer to state oversight boards, not local donors. Federal Title IX compliance requirements supersede municipal politics. The Bradford family's attempt to manipulate the investigation activates multiple justice systems simultaneously. Athletic board reviews, district-level interventions, and state compliance audits that examine not just this incident, but patterns of donation-influenced disciplinary decisions spanning several years. Multi-evidence packages flood the investigative channels: video footage, documented threats, witness testimonies, athletic code violations, and financial audits revealing exactly how donor influence has shaped disciplinary outcomes. Every piece of Sophia's methodical documentation becomes crucial evidence in a systemic investigation. Derek's hands shake as he sits in the principal's office, repeatedly insisting, "This isn't fair," while evidence mounts around him like floodwater. His usual confidence has collapsed into desperate denials, but the documentation is overwhelming and indisputable. The investigation expands beyond Westfield when investigators discover similar patterns at other schools where Bradford family influence may have protected comparable behavior. 2 assistant coaches resign preemptively rather than face questioning about incidents they failed to report. The ripple effects spread through the entire district. In the school board meeting room, audible gasps echo as security footage plays on the large screen. Board members who've accepted Bradford donations for years watch Derek's systematic harassment campaign unfold in chronological order, documented with prosecutorial precision. Principal Martinez announces the decision during an emergency assembly. Derek Bradford has been stripped of team captaincy and removed from the basketball program, effective immediately. Miss Sophia Kane, with verified coaching credentials and demonstrated leadership capabilities, will serve as interim team captain pending permanent selection. The gymnasium erupts in surprised murmurs. Students who watched Derek humiliate Sophia in the cafeteria just days ago now witness her wearing his captain's armband. The same armband he thought would never leave his arm. But the story doesn't end with Derek's downfall. An encrypted message appears on Sophia's phone. Pattern identified at 3 other Colorado schools. Investigation expanding. The scope of influence peddling and misconduct reaches far beyond one high school basketball program. A black SUV with government plates sits in the school parking lot. Federal investigators quietly interviewing faculty members and reviewing financial records. What started as high school bullying has exposed institutional corruption requiring federal oversight. Sophia briefly touches her gymnastics scar, remembering why she'd tried to leave competitive athletics behind. The pressure, the politics, the constant evaluation, everything she'd wanted to escape has followed her to Westfield High. But this time, she's fighting for principle rather than personal achievement. The justice feels hollow initially, tainted by the realization that her quiet senior year dream has evaporated. Yet, watching younger students approach her after the assembly, thanking her for standing up to Derek's crew, she begins to understand that some battles choose their fighters. Federal investigators conclude their preliminary interviews, but their presence raises new questions. Are they here to protect the investigation's integrity or to manage political fallout from exposing powerful families? The black SUV's tinted windows conceal motivations that remain unclear. 3 weeks later, Sophia receives a letter from the State Athletics Board officially recognizing her coaching credentials and recommending her for an emergency teaching certificate. Her systematic documentation of Derek's harassment has become a model case study for athletic compliance training across Colorado. Derek Bradford sits in his empty bedroom, college recruitment letters that once guaranteed his future now meaningless pieces of paper. His athletic scholarship offers have been withdrawn, his reputation destroyed by his own documented behavior. The consequences he never believed would touch him have arrived with institutional finality. Coach Williams reviews game footage from the team's first practice under Sophia's leadership. The biomechanical improvements are already visible, shooting percentages up, form corrections implemented, fundamental problems addressed that previous coaching staffs ignored. Sometimes, he murmurs to his assistant coach, the best leaders are forged by surviving the worst situations. The story concludes with Sophia in the gymnasium after hours, working alone on balance beam routines she hasn't performed in 2 years. Her mother finds her there, understanding finally that competitive fire can't be extinguished, only redirected toward worthy causes. "Are you going back to gymnastics?" her mother asks. Sophia performs a perfect dismount, landing with the controlled precision that made Derek's aggression look so amateur weeks ago. "I never really left. I just learned that some competitions matter more than others." The encrypted message in her phone buzzes again. Federal investigators are requesting her assistance with similar cases at other schools. The quiet senior year she'd wanted has transformed into something larger, a systematic effort to protect student-athletes from institutional abuse. Some games are bigger than high school basketball, and some players are prepared for competitions that extend far beyond gymnasiums and scoreboards. Derek Bradford learned that the hard way when he called the wrong girl useless. Sophia Kane wasn't helpless. She was just choosing her battles carefully. When he forced the fight, she won with weapons he never knew existed: documentation, systematic thinking, and the institutional knowledge that comes from elite competitive experience. The captain's armband fits her perfectly, but it's just the beginning. Federal investigations, policy changes, and systematic reforms that will protect future students. That's the real victory Sophia Kane achieved by refusing to stay silent. In the end, Derek's biggest mistake wasn't underestimating Sophia's athletic ability. It was underestimating her understanding that real competition happens in boardrooms, investigation hearings, and policy meetings where documentation defeats donation influence every time. Some battles are won with perfect form, the precise execution of athletic movements honed through countless hours of training, where muscle memory and technical excellence determine victory. Others require perfect preparation. The methodical documentation, strategic thinking, and institutional knowledge that transforms individual confrontations into systematic change. Sophia Kane mastered both disciplines with equal dedication, understanding that true champions excel not just in their sport, but in navigating the complex systems that govern competitive environments. Her victory extended far beyond Derek Bradford's humiliation, or even her unexpected captaincy. The federal investigation she triggered, the policy reforms her documentation enabled, and the precedent her case established would protect countless future student-athletes from similar abuse. Where others might have seen only personal vindication, Sophia recognized the opportunity to dismantle institutional corruption that had operated unchecked for years. The quiet transfer student, who wanted nothing more than an anonymous senior year, had instead become the catalyst for statewide athletic reform. Her systematic approach to justice, treating harassment like a case study, bullying like a research project, demonstrated that the most effective resistance often comes not from emotional responses, but from clinical precision applied to exposing systemic failures. Westfield High, along with schools across Colorado, will never be the same.
The story ends here, but there are many more videos waiting for you. So, if you enjoy, please take a moment to like, subscribe to the Wrong Target Story channel, and don't forget to turn on the bell. See you in the next story.